Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees. Hare Krishna Prabhujis and Matajis. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Parampara. I am again apologizing for all the mishap today. I forgot to hit the unmute button. So I am beginning to share my screen again. I'm using a new device, so I'm not used to the new device yet. So I'm just trying to make sure that this works, hopefully. I hope the unmute button is there. Okay, I just want to make sure before I start. Okay, I'll begin with prayers again. Om Ajnana Timirandasya. I'll start with Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatiruttamashloke Bhaktir Naiштaki कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रये ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादि सतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So this 12th chapter of the 8th canto is what we are studying now. The Mohini Murti incarnation, bewildering Lord Shiva. So the summary of this chapter in the first 11 verses, what we saw was, after the demigods and the demons fought and the nectar was given by Mohini Murti to the demigods and the demons were not given the nectar because they were bewildered by the beauty of Mohini avatar, Lord Shiva became very interested in seeing the Mohini avatar, the Lord taking the form as a woman. And then he recites a series of verses glorifying Lord Vishnu, and he and his consort Uma or Parvati arrive in Lord Vishnu's abode. And then in text 12, my Lord, I have seen all kinds of incarnations you have exhibited by your transcendental qualities, and now that you have appeared as a beautiful woman, I wish to see that form of your Lordship. So Prabhupada also writes that Lord Shiva discloses his desire to see the Mohini avatar form. And in text 13, my Lord, we have come here desiring to see that form of your Lordship, which you show to the demons to captivate them completely. In this way, enable the demigods to drink nectar. I am very eager to see that form. So Lord Shiva, being one of the Mahajans, is showing us the way to actually want to see Krishna. All of us have that aspiration, right? Because our acharyas, including Srila Prabhupada, say that that is our perfection of life. When Krishna becomes very, very pleased with us, he wants to see us. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, right, that do not try to see Krishna. Do something in a way that will Krishna want, in a way that Krishna will want to see us. Which is exactly what happened to Srila Prabhupada also, right? In the early 60s or the late 60s, not late 60s, probably early 60s, late 50s. I do not remember the year when Srila Prabhupada was in Jhansi. While he was trying to create the League of Devotees, Krishna gave him darshan. So, because Prabhupada was very eager to serve, so Krishna wanted to see him. All the acharyas are showing the example, including Mahadev, Lord Shiva. He's saying, I'm very eager to see that form. So we should follow in their footsteps. Our path is the path laid out by the Mahajans. Text 14, Shukadeva Goswami said, when Lord Vishnu was thus requested by Lord Shiva, who carries a trident in his hand, he smiled with gravity and replied to Lord Shiva as follows. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, I will go to text 14. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that Krishna is Yogeshwara. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Krishna is the master of all yogis. And when Lord Shiva exhibited his desire to see the Mohini avatar, Lord Vishnu was gravely thinking of how to captivate Lord Shiva also. Because Srila Prabhupada writes that Durga Devi herself cannot captivate Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva is above the three modes of material nature. How can, if Durga Devi or Parvati cannot captivate him? Because in the third canto we study that even Lord Shiva is not even attracted by the beauty. It is mentioned by our acharyas that even Parvati Devi, being an expansion of an expansion of an expansion of Srimati Radharani, is exquisitely beautiful. But even that beauty is, Lord Shiva is not captivated by her beauty. So Lord Vishnu was actually thinking gravely. Sri Rupa Goswami mentions in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that one of the qualities of Krishna is to be grave. Meaning, it's very difficult to know what is in the heart of Krishna. Locked up. Very grave. That is why in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami writes that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to understand the transcendental pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very difficult because it is as deep as millions of oceans. And Srila Kaviraj Goswami utterly humbles himself and tells that I am such a conditioned soul, I am just scratching the surface of this vast ocean of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. How can a conditioned soul like myself penetrate into the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's Krishna himself? So the same Krishna in the form of Lord Vishnu is thinking gravely, how do I captivate the great Lord Shiva in a form that he is not even bewildered by the Cupid in this world? In text 15, the Supreme Lord said, when the demons took away the jug of nectar, I assumed the form of a beautiful woman to bewilder them by cheating them and thus to act in the interest of the demigods. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that when conditioned souls like us, when we get attracted by the opposite sex, whether man getting attracted to a woman or a woman getting attracted to a man, it is a demoniac mentality. Krishna mentions, right, divine qualities and demoniac qualities in text 16. Because we are not always on the platform of, at least in the mode of goodness, Srila Prabhupada writes, those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness or even those on the platform of goodness are not bewildered. Sripad Vaisheshika Maharaj, whenever he comes to Baltimore, or I have heard this even from His Grace Premdam Prabhu, that Maharaj always says that we should always remember the second chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The series of verses. I think once His Grace Nilmada Prabhuji also gave a Bhagavatam class on a weekend. Those series of verses tells us how one can gradually raise to the platform of goodness, sattva. Sthitam sattve prasidati. Tata rajas tamo bhava. That once our modes of passion and ignorance are nullified, then we are situated in the platform of goodness. And Srila Prabhupada writes, when we are situated on the platform of goodness, we are not captivated by the lusty desires when we see an opposite sex. And somebody who's advanced beyond goodness, there is no question at all. Right? Cupid himself tried to invoke Lord Shiva. Srila Prabhupada writing that pastime is there, right? When Lord Shiva was sitting and meditating, Cupid personified, Kamadev came to attract Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva, because he was getting disturbed, he opened his third eye, and with that third eye, he burnt Cupid personified into ashes. So, Srila Prabhupada is writing, Lord Vishnu was thus considering, how do I create a form to captivate even the great Lord Shiva to become lusty? And in text 16, Lord Vishnu is continuing, I shall now show you my form that is very much appreciated by those who are lusty. Since you want to see that form, I shall reveal it in your presence. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that Lord Shiva's desiring to see Lord Vishnu reveal the most attractive and beautiful form of a woman was certainly a joking affair. Lord Shiva knew that he could not be agitated by any beautiful woman in this world because he's above the three modes. The Daityas, the demons, are bewildered. So Lord Shiva was thinking, what form that Lord Vishnu is going to show me that can bewilder me? So Lord Vishnu is telling, I will show you my form as a woman, and if you become agitated by lusty desires, do not blame me. The attractive features of a woman are appreciated by those who are affected by lusty desires. But those who are above such desires, who are on the platform of Krishna consciousness, are very difficult to bewilder. Nonetheless, by the supreme desire of the personality of Godhead, everything can be done. This was a test of whether Lord Shiva could remain unagitated. Lord Shiva cannot be agitated. But Srila Prabhupada is saying, if Krishna wants to agitate somebody, the future speakers will reveal the glories of Lord Shiva. If Krishna wants to agitate anybody, even the greatest Lord Shiva can be agitated. So what to speak of conditioned souls like us? The future purport Srila Prabhupada will reveal many things. Shukadeva Goswami continued, after speaking in this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu immediately disappeared and Lord Shiva remained there with Uma, looking for him in all around with moving eyes. Thereafter, in a nice forest nearby, full of trees with reddish pink leaves and varieties of flowers, Lord Shiva saw a beautiful woman playing with a ball. Her hips was covered with a shining sari and ornament with a belt. Because the ball was falling down and bouncing up that she was playing, and she played with her heart trembling, and because of the waste of those heart and her heavy flower garlands, her waist appeared to be all but breaking at every step, as her two soft feet, which were reddish like coral, moved here and there. The woman's face was decorated by broad, beautiful, restless eyes, which moved as the ball bounced here and there from her hand. The two brilliant earrings on her ears decorated her shining cheeks like bluish reflections. And the hair scattered on her face made her even more beautiful to see. As she played with the ball, the sari covering her body became loose and her hair scattered. She tried to bind her hair with her beautiful left hand, and at the same time, she played with the ball by striking it with her right hand. This was so attractive that the Supreme Lord, by his internal potency in this way, captivated everyone. Srila Prabhupada writes, quoting Bhagavad Gita 7:14, that Daivihi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durate. External potency of Krishna is extremely strong. My Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj says that Cupid personified is hitting arrows with everyone in this world. Nobody can escape the arrows of Cupid in this world. And Lord Shiva was not captivated by such arrows of the external potency. because he was soul surrendered to Krishna. But because Lord Vishnu desired to captivate him, he exhibited his internal potency to act in a way that his external potency acts on conditioned souls like us. Lord Vishnu can captivate anyone, even such a strong personality as Lord Shiva. Srila Prabhupada writes. If Lord Vishnu decides to captivate somebody, it is said, right? Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe ke. Srila Prabhupada says in his class. If Krishna wants to kill somebody, doesn't matter who he or she is. If Krishna wants to protect somebody, nobody can do anything to that personality. Similarly, Lord Vishnu wanted to bewilder even the greatest Lord Shiva here. So we can understand if Krishna's internal potency is so strong, how strong is Krishna's external potency in the form of illusory energy in this world? And Srila Prabhupada, many of his classes, he says that the attraction for the opposite sex is the greatest illusion in this world. And Srila Prabhupada will write that in the purport. While Lord Shiva observed the beautiful woman playing with the ball, she sometimes glanced at him and slightly smiled in bashfulness. As he looked at the beautiful woman and she watched him, he forgot both himself and Uma, his most beautiful wife, as well as his associates nearby. See, Lord Shiva got bewildered. Srila Prabhupada writes, we should pay attention to the first line of this purport. The material bondage of this world is that a beautiful woman can captivate a handsome man, and that a handsome man can captivate a beautiful woman. See, it is both ways. It is not always a man getting attracted to a woman and not the other way around. Such are the affairs that began when Lord Shiva observed the beautiful girl playing with the ball. In such activities, the influence of Cupid is very prominent. As both parties move their eyebrows and glance at one another, their lusty desires increase more and more. Such reciprocations of lusty desire took place between Lord Shiva and the beautiful woman, even though Uma and Lord Shiva's associates were by Lord Shiva's side. Such is the attraction between man and woman. Lord Shiva was supposed to be above all this attraction, but he was victimized by the captivating power of Lord Vishnu. And Prabhupada quotes Rishabhadev Maharaj. Pumsastriya Maithuni Bhavam Etam Tayormita Hridaya Ganti. Because of this knot of attraction between man and woman, Ahu Atogriha Kshetra Sutapta Vittair Janasya Moho Ayam Aham Mameti. The attraction between male and women is the basic principle of material existence. Because of this misconception and Hridaya Gantir, because of this knot of attraction between male and female, one becomes attracted to the body, then becomes married, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life's illusion and thinks everything is I and mine. When a man and woman exchange feelings of lust, both of them are victimized, and thus they are bound to this material world in various ways. This purport is the most important purport of today's reading. Srila Prabhupada is revealing so many things in this purport. And we should not think that this is not for me. This is probably not, it is probably for an upcoming devotee, not for me. No. It is for every practicing sadhaka like us, that we have to be extremely cautious. Because my Gurudev, he says that it is very easy to follow the three regulative principles that we promised during initiations. No intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating. Not so difficult. Illicit sex. And well, somebody may say, yes, I'm happily married with a devotee wife, child, or children. I'm fine. But our Acharya says, Srila Prabhupada writes in many of his purports, my Gurudev says that illicit sex also include contemplating and thinking of the opposite sex. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't like this. And our My Gurudev says our whole aim in our life is to please Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We don't have any other thing, any other goal in our life. Because Mahaprabhu says, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmani ishware bhavatat bhakti rahay tukvi tui. It's very easy to say this. But we have to contemplate ourselves on our consciousness, how much I am able to follow. My spiritual master says, this is the goal in life. What is our goal in life? Bhavatat bhakti ahituki tvai. I only want costless, pure devotional service to you, Krishna. I don't want anything else. And to come to that platform, we have to give up all these things through the process of bhakti. We cannot just artificially give up. It is not possible. We have to be so busy under the guidance of a spiritual master that we don't give any leeway for these thoughts to enter in our lives. Because Prabhupada often quotes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, wherever there is Krishna, Maya cannot enter. So if you are busy in Krishna consciousness, in serving, in chanting, in hearing, in studying, we don't have to worry about these things. But as soon as we are disconnected from these services to Krishna, there is no other way that we can escape the attack of the illusory energy. And Mahaprabhu showed this by example. We cannot say that Mahaprabhu was a sannyasi, well, he was keeping a distance from the women, but Mahaprabhu also played a role of a devotee. We should not forget that. He played the role of a pure devotee. And Chaitanya Charitamrita Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes that Mahaprabhu will not even cut jokes with the wives of other men. So we should be very cautious. We should keep respectful distance. In Grihastha ashram, it's very difficult to completely nullify the association of opposite sex. Some interaction has to happen. It is unavoidable. But we should keep respectful distance. In the name of practicing bhakti, we should not get too close. It's dangerous for both, just like Srila Prabhupada is writing here. Because at least I'm not on the platform of pure devotional service. So we have to be extremely cautious and protect our bhakti creeper. Why? Because that will please Guru and Gauranga. Because without pleasing our spiritual master, we cannot please Krishna. In the name of service also, we should keep our distance. Why? Because I will please Guru and Gauranga. Not for my sake. Not to show that I'm such a Vairagi in this world. Internally, we want to please Guru and Gauranga always. It may seem fanatic outside. People may think this guy is a fanatic. But we want to please Guru and Gauranga. Because that is the path to pure bhakti. There is no other way. Mahaprabhu rejected Kala Krishna Das. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, all of us would have heard that pastime. Kala Krishna Das was an associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who traveled with him always for a couple of years to South India. And even he got bewildered. Constant association of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu rejected him. He saved him, but he rejected him. That is the last thing we want in our life, to be rejected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have to be extremely cautious. And we should follow this under the guidance of a guru. Whatever guru is telling, we have to follow. Because that is for our own good. Because what will happen is, if we are not able to do these subtle things, then we cannot pass on the principles of Krishna consciousness to others effectively. Because my heart is contaminated. What I am speaking or what I am giving to others will not have the potency. The potency is coming from the Guru Parampara. And if we are chased to the Guru Parampara, the mercy of the Guru Parampara will flow through us. We are just we are medium. We are nothing in this world. So we have to be chased to the Guru Parampara as much as possible. And without surrender to Guru Parampara, the path of pure devotional service is obstructed for us. Unless and until we realize all these subtle matters that Srila Prabhupada is revealing through his purpose. I'll pause here. I'm again extremely, extremely sorry, and I would like to apologize for all the inconveniences caused today because I'm using an iPad and I'm not used to this Zoom recording on this. So I'm very sorry for this late recording, and I'm sincerely grateful to His Grace Sundarandas Prabhuji to make me study this purports again and again for my own purification. And whatever that was spoken today, that is simply the words of our Acharyas and our Gurudev. And anything which I spoke that was inappropriate, that is due to my conditioning. I'm still a conditioned soul, so please forgive me. I will conclude here. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.